Greetings, I'm Mick Torbay from Wizard of Ads Toronto, and today I'm going to talk about a marketing mistake that your competitors are most certainly making and how you can profit from it. Now, why do I know they're making it? Because almost everyone does, and of course I'm talking about trying to beat the leader at their own game. Why do businesses make this mistake so consistently? Well, it's because they watch the leader and they see what they do and then conclude that's the only way to win. That is to say, you see how the leader's playing the game and then you conclude that's the only game in town. It isn't, but it's a lot easier to see why the leader's doing well at that particular game than it is to see why you'll succeed at yours. Does that make sense to you? Let me put it another way. I have a client in the furniture business, medium-sized market. Now in furniture, the leaders are all pretty much saying the same thing. Remember this from the last video? Okay, so it's happening again. The big furniture retailers are basing their message on the following ideas: high quality, low price. Now here's a guess. In whatever market you're in, the furniture retailers are all kind of saying the same version of high quality, low price. Am I right? So yes, they're all making mistake number 3 by saying the same thing. But my client had been making mistake number 4, which is trying to beat them at their own game. And here's what's interesting. My client sold Mennonite furniture. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Mennonites of Southern Ontario, they have much in common with the Amish of Pennsylvania. They don't use electricity, they don't drive cars, they wear plain clothing, they're fiercely religious, and they generally keep to themselves. The furniture the Mennonites produce is old school, solid wood, dovetails, no rivets, no plywood, no being open on Sunday. That's a rule from my clients' Mennonite suppliers. You don't sell on Sunday. The quality, outstanding. This is like brand new antique furniture, amazing quality. The price, now here's the interesting part, the price is also amazingly good. My client buys directly from the craftsmen who make the furniture, and they price the furniture based on how much time it takes to make it and the cost of the materials. They do not care a bit for market prices. Would people pay more for this stuff? You want to believe it, but the Mennonite craftsman would see that as taking advantage, and that would be sinful. He asks a fair price, my client adds a standard retail markup, and the result is a surprisingly low price. But we were talking about marketing, weren't we? My client's messages before I got involved was high quality and low price. And I'm going to swear that for once, this was the truth. You hear it all the time and it's normally a crock, but this one case, at this one store, they had high quality and low price, and that's what their ad said. Trouble is, that's what the big chains were saying too, only the big chains were saying it louder and more often, and that's what a big budget gets you. It buys you loud and often, so my client was losing that battle. So how do we change the message? Well, first step, we didn't mention quality or price. That's right out. One of the things we learned is what makes our clients' offering truly unique, and created a persuasive campaign based on truth and not marketing hype. That message was built without compromise. Now, how do you prove that? Because anytime you make a claim but you can't prove it, you're wasting your time. How do you prove built without compromise? Well, it starts with explaining where the furniture comes from. Remember, this table was built by a Mennonite. Try and talk him into using cheaper materials. Or use plywood on the inside because the consumer won't know the difference. Let me remind you, this is a guy who drives a horse and buggy to work. Go ahead, try and get him to cut a few corners to make things easier or cheaper. You have to understand that for the Amish or the Mennonites, doing things the right way, the old-fashioned way, isn't just a matter of style, it's actually part of his religion. He believes that doing the job properly, the hard way, brings him closer to God. Now do you believe me when I say the furniture at his store is built without compromise? Does that message resonate as true? You can't beat the big guys at their game. They're too good at it and they can outspend you anytime they want. But no retail chain can touch my client's message because they changed the game. And big chain furniture is mass-produced in factories overseas by the cheapest labor they can find. It's made light to be easier to ship and to deliver. Compromise at every step. The funny thing is, it took an ad guy who has no real experience in furniture to see this blind spot. Left to their own devices, business owners will consistently make this mistake over and over again. Watch what the leader does and then just do some of that. But not my clients and not you. Not anymore. I'm Mick Torbay from Wizard of Ads Toronto, making the world a better place, one commercial at a time.